Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by emotions in critical moments, wishing you could stay calm and respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively? This audiobook is your guide to mastering the art of emotional control, helping you transform stress into strength and chaos into clarity. It empowers you to live a life of balance, purpose, and inner peace. Introduction. The audiobook Calm is Power. Train your mind to respond, not react is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks. Life today moves at an incredible pace. Whether it's work deadlines, family responsibilities, or personal relationships, we often find ourselves pulled in multiple directions. The pressure can be overwhelming. Many of us struggle with managing our emotions, leading to impulsive reactions that we later regret. We snap at loved ones, make hasty decisions, or freeze under stress. These moments leave us feeling drained, disconnected, and stuck in a cycle of frustration. This audiobook dives deep into these challenges, helping you understand why you react the way you do and providing practical tools to break free from destructive patterns. You'll learn how to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully instead of letting emotions dictate your actions. Let me take a moment to acknowledge what you might be feeling right now. Perhaps you've had days when everything seems to go wrong, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to keep your cool. Or maybe there are recurring situations where you feel powerless over your own reactions. Believe me, I've been there too. I know how exhausting it can be to constantly fight against your own mind. But here's the good news, you're not alone, and change is possible. As Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, once said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response." That space is what this audiobook will help you discover and master. In the chapters ahead, you'll uncover powerful strategies to train your mind for calmness. From understanding the science behind emotions to practicing mindfulness techniques, each lesson builds upon the last to create a comprehensive roadmap for personal transformation. You'll also gain access to actionable exercises designed to integrate these teachings into your daily life. By the end of this audiobook, you'll have the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. For example, one of the key lessons we'll explore is the concept of mindful breathing. This simple yet profound practice has been used for centuries to reduce stress and increase focus. Imagine being able to shift from panic to peace in just a few breaths. A skill that could save you in high-pressure moments. I want to encourage you to listen to this audiobook all the way through. Why? Because every chapter contains insights that build on one another, creating a cohesive framework for lasting change. Think of it as a step-by-step guide to reclaiming your power, one calm response at a time. Your wisdom journey starts here. Chapter 1: Understanding Your Mind, the Root of Calmness. To truly master calmness, we must first understand the foundation of our emotions and reactions. This chapter will take you on a journey into the inner workings of your mind, how it processes emotions, why stress affects us so deeply, and why cultivating calmness is essential for personal growth. By understanding these fundamentals, you'll gain clarity on how to shift from reacting impulsively to responding thoughtfully. 1. How emotions work, the science behind your reactions. Let's start with a simple truth: emotions are not inherently bad. In fact, they're vital for survival. Our ancestors relied on emotional responses, like fear or anger, to protect themselves from danger. But in today's world, where threats are less physical and more psychological, unchecked emotions can become obstacles rather than tools for survival. The human brain operates on two primary systems when it comes to decision-making and reactions: the amygdala, the emotional center, and the prefrontal cortex, the logical reasoning center. When faced with a stressful situation, the amygdala often takes over, triggering a fight or flight response before the prefrontal cortex has time to process what's happening. This explains why we sometimes react emotionally without thinking things through. Consider this example. Imagine you're driving home after a long day at work, already feeling tired and frustrated. Suddenly, another driver cuts you off. What happens next? If your amygdala dominates, you might honk angrily, shout, or even tailgate the other car, all impulsive actions that escalate tension. But if your prefrontal cortex steps in, you recognize that reacting aggressively won't solve anything and choose to let it go instead. As Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, wisely said, "The emotional brain responds to an event more quickly than the thinking brain." Understanding this dynamic is crucial because it highlights the importance of creating space between stimulus and response, a concept we'll explore further throughout this audiobook. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how certain situations trigger strong emotional reactions in you? For instance, criticism from a colleague may make you defensive, or a disagreement with a loved one might leave you feeling hurt. These triggers are rooted in past experiences, beliefs, and conditioning. The good news is, by becoming aware of them, you can begin to manage their impact on your behavior. Here's a quick exercise to help you identify your emotional triggers. Take a moment to reflect on recent incidents where you reacted strongly. Ask yourself, what exactly triggered that reaction? Was it someone's tone of voice, a specific phrase, or perhaps a particular action? Write down 3 common triggers you've observed. This awareness is the first step toward taking control of your mind. As you progress through this audiobook, you'll learn practical techniques to rewire your responses and cultivate greater emotional resilience. 2. The science of stress, why it affects us so deeply. Stress is a natural part of life, but chronic stress can wreak havoc on both your mental and physical health. To understand why this happens, let's delve into the science behind stress. When you encounter a stressful situation, your body releases cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone. Cortisol prepares your body to deal with immediate challenges by increasing heart rate, sharpening focus, and providing a burst of energy. While this response is helpful in short bursts, say, during an emergency, it becomes harmful when prolonged. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can lead to anxiety, depression, insomnia, weakened immunity, and even weight gain. But here's the catch. Stress isn't always caused by external factors like deadlines or conflicts. Often, it stems from how we perceive and interpret situations. For example, 2 people facing the same challenge, one viewing it as an opportunity, the other seeing it as a threat, will experience vastly different levels of stress. Take inspiration from Dr. Hans Selye, a pioneer in stress research, who said, "It's not stress that kills us, it's our reaction to it." His words remind us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. So, how do you know if stress is affecting you? Here are some common signs. Difficulty concentrating or making decisions. Irritability or mood swings. Fatigue or trouble sleeping. Physical symptoms like headaches or muscle tension. If any of these resonate with you, don't worry, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with stress daily. The key lies in developing strategies to manage it effectively. Later in this audiobook, I'll share mindfulness practices and relaxation techniques that can help lower cortisol levels and restore balance to your nervous system. For now, remember this: acknowledging the presence of stress is the first step toward addressing it. Denial only amplifies its effects, while awareness empowers you to take action. 3. Why calmness matters: transforming chaos into clarity. By now, you might be wondering, why does calmness matter so much? Isn't it enough to simply get through tough times and move on? The truth is, calmness isn't just about surviving challenges, it's about thriving despite them. Calmness gives you the clarity to see beyond immediate emotions and assess situations objectively. It allows you to communicate more effectively, make better decisions, and build stronger relationships. Most importantly, it creates a ripple effect that benefits every area of your life. Let me share a story to illustrate this point. Meet Sarah, a marketing executive who struggled with workplace stress. She was known for her sharp mind and dedication, but she also had a reputation for snapping under pressure. During team meetings, her frustration would boil over, leading to strained relationships with colleagues. One day, Sarah decided to enroll in a mindfulness course. Through consistent practice, she learned to pause before reacting and approach conflicts with empathy. Over time, her communication improved, her team became more cohesive, and her career flourished. Sarah's transformation didn't happen overnight, but it began with one crucial realization: calmness isn't passive, it's powerful. As Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, once said, "Silence is a source of great strength." In moments of chaos, silence, and the calmness it brings, can be your greatest ally. Now, consider your own life. Can you think of a time when staying calm could have changed the outcome of a challenging situation? Maybe it was an argument with a partner, a difficult conversation with your boss, or a parenting moment where patience made all the difference. Reflecting on these moments helps reinforce the value of calmness. In addition to improving interpersonal dynamics, calmness also enhances creativity and problem-solving abilities. When your mind is at ease, you're better equipped to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. Research shows that individuals who practice mindfulness regularly report higher levels of productivity and satisfaction in their work. 4. Exercise, identifying your triggers. Now that we've explored the science of emotions and stress, it's time to dive deeper into a practical exercise, one that will help you identify your personal triggers. Understanding these triggers is a critical step toward gaining control over your reactions. Let me guide you through this process step by step. Step 1. Reflect on recent emotional reactions. Think back to the past week or month. Can you recall moments when you felt overwhelmed, frustrated, or upset? Write down 3 specific incidents where your emotions got the better of you. For example, a heated argument with a friend or family member. Feeling anxious before an important presentation at work. Becoming irritable during a traffic jam. Step 2. Analyze what triggered you. For each incident, ask yourself, what exactly caused my reaction? Was it something someone said or did? Or was it the situation itself? For instance, did criticism from a colleague make you defensive? Did a chaotic environment leave you feeling out of control? Step 3. Look for patterns. Once you've listed your triggers, look for recurring themes. Are there certain people, places, or scenarios that consistently push your buttons? Do you notice any patterns in how you react? For example, do you tend to withdraw, lash out, or shut down emotionally? Understanding these patterns is empowering because it allows you to anticipate potential triggers and prepare yourself mentally. Instead of being caught off guard, you can consciously choose how to respond. Here's a real-life example to inspire you. Meet James, a software engineer who used to dread team meetings. He often felt attacked during feedback sessions and would either argue defensively or retreat into silence. After identifying his trigger, fear of judgment, he began practicing deep breathing exercises before meetings and reminding himself that constructive criticism was meant to help, not harm. Over time, he transformed his mindset and became more open to collaboration. As Brené Brown, a renowned researcher on vulnerability and courage, puts it, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do. By confronting your triggers head-on, you're taking a brave step towards self-awareness and growth. 5. The power of pause, creating space between stimulus and response. One of the most transformative lessons I've learned, and one I want to share with you, is the power of the pause. Pausing may sound simple, but its impact is profound. It creates a gap between what happens to you, the stimulus, and how you respond, the response. And within that gap lies your freedom to choose. Let's break this down further. Why pausing matters. When you react impulsively, you're operating on autopilot. Your amygdala hijacks your brain, bypassing logic and reason. But when you pause, even for just a few seconds, you give your prefrontal cortex a chance to catch up. This shift allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. Consider this analogy. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a river, watching turbulent water rush past. If you jump in without thinking, you'll be swept away by the current. But if you pause and observe the flow, you can find a calmer path across. How to practice the pause. Here's a simple technique you can start using today. 1. When you feel triggered, take a slow, deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 6 counts. 2. As you breathe, silently repeat the word pause in your mind. This serves as a reminder to create space. 3. Ask yourself, is my initial reaction helpful or harmful? What's another way I could approach this situation? This practice might feel awkward at first, especially if you're accustomed to reacting quickly. But with consistent effort, it will become second nature. To illustrate the power of pausing, let me share a story about Maya, a high school teacher who struggled with classroom management. Whenever students misbehaved, she would raise her voice in frustration, which only escalated the situation. One day, she decided to try pausing before responding. She started counting to 5 in her head whenever she felt irritation rising. To her surprise, this small change made a huge difference. Her classroom became calmer, and her students responded more positively to her guidance. As Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen master and peace activist, once said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." By pausing, you open yourself up to the possibility of seeing, and choosing, a better path forward. 6. The ripple effect of calmness. Before we wrap up this chapter, let's talk about the ripple effect of calmness. When you cultivate inner peace, it doesn't just benefit you, it impacts everyone around you. Think about it. How many times have you been influenced by someone else's calm demeanor in a stressful situation? Perhaps it was a manager who stayed composed during a crisis, or a friend who listened patiently while you vented. Their calmness likely helped you feel more grounded too. Calmness is contagious, just as stress is. When you lead with calmness, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens relationships, fosters collaboration, and builds trust. Take inspiration from Nelson Mandela, whose leadership style exemplified calmness under pressure. Despite enduring decades of imprisonment, he emerged with grace and forgiveness, uniting a divided nation. As he famously said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." His words remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, calm determination can pave the way for extraordinary outcomes. In this chapter, we've explored the foundational aspects of understanding your mind, the science of emotions, the impact of stress, and the importance of calmness. We've also introduced practical tools like identifying triggers and practicing the pause, which will serve as building blocks for the rest of this audiobook. Remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. True transformation comes from applying what you've learned. So, as you go about your day, pay attention to your emotional responses. Notice what triggers you and experiment with pausing before reacting. These small steps will lay the groundwork for lasting change. In the next chapter, we'll delve deeper into mastering your emotions and shifting from reactive to responsive behavior. Get ready to unlock the secrets of emotional intelligence and take full control of your mind. Chapter 2: Mastering Your Emotions, From React to Respond. In Chapter 1, we explored the science behind emotions and the importance of understanding your mind. Now, it's time to take the next step, mastering your emotions. This chapter will equip you with practical tools and strategies to shift from reacting impulsively to responding thoughtfully. You'll learn how to pause before acting, harness the power of breath, reframe negative thoughts, and practice mindful listening. These skills are not just theoretical, they're actionable techniques you can start applying today to transform your emotional responses. Let's dive in and discover how you can take control of your emotions, one calm response at a time. 1. Pause before you act. The power of delayed reaction. One of the most effective ways to master your emotions is to create space between stimulus and response. As we discussed earlier, our brains are wired to react quickly to perceived threats or challenges. However, this automatic reaction often leads to regrettable outcomes. By introducing a deliberate pause, you give yourself the opportunity to choose a wiser course of action. Here's why pausing is so powerful. It interrupts the chain reaction of stress hormones flooding your system. It allows your logical brain, prefrontal cortex, to catch up and assess the situation objectively. It gives you time to consider alternative perspectives and solutions. Let me share a simple yet profound technique called the 5-second rule, popularized by Mel Robbins, a renowned motivational speaker. The rule is straightforward. When you feel the urge to react emotionally, count backward from 5 to 1, then act, or choose not to act. This brief delay disrupts the impulse and creates space for conscious decision-making. For example, imagine you're in a meeting, and a colleague criticizes your idea in front of everyone. Your initial reaction might be to defend yourself aggressively or withdraw in embarrassment. But if you apply the 5-second rule, you can pause, take a deep breath, and respond calmly instead. Perhaps you say, "Thank you for sharing your perspective. Let's explore how we can refine this idea together." As Viktor Frankl wisely said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response." That space is where mastery begins. Now, here's an exercise to help you practice pausing. Identify a common situation where you tend to react impulsively, e.g., receiving critical feedback, dealing with traffic. Commit to counting backward from 5 before responding. Reflect afterward. How did pausing change your reaction? What did you learn? Consistency is key. The more you practice pausing, the more natural it will feel over time. 2. Breathing techniques for instant calm, harnessing the power of breath. Breath is life, and it's also one of the most accessible tools for managing emotions. When you're stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. This activates your body's fight-or-flight response, making it harder to think clearly. By consciously controlling your breath, you can reverse this process and restore calmness almost instantly. Let's explore 3 powerful breathing techniques you can use anytime, anywhere. Technique 1: Box breathing. Box breathing is a simple yet highly effective technique used by Navy SEALs to stay calm under pressure. Here's how it works. 1. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. 2. Hold your breath for 4 counts. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 counts. 4. Hold your breath again for 4 counts. Repeat this cycle for 1 to 2 minutes. Why does it work? Box breathing balances your nervous system, reducing stress and increasing focus. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind. Technique 2: 4-7-8 breathing. Developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, the 4-7-8 technique is designed to promote relaxation and reduce anxiety. Here's how to do it. 1. Inhale quietly through your nose for 4 counts. 2. Hold your breath for 7 counts. 3. Exhale completely through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat this cycle 4 times. This technique slows down your heart rate and calms your mind, making it ideal for moments of intense stress or insomnia. Technique 3: Diaphragmatic breathing. Also known as belly breathing, this technique engages your diaphragm rather than your chest. It's particularly useful for grounding yourself during overwhelming situations. Here's how to practice it. 1. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. 2. Breathe in deeply through your nose, ensuring your abdomen rises while your chest remains still. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your abdomen fall. Repeat for several breaths. To illustrate the impact of breathing techniques, let me share a story about Lisa, a nurse working in a busy hospital. She often felt overwhelmed by the fast-paced environment and long shifts. One day, she decided to try box breathing during her breaks. Within weeks, she noticed a significant reduction in her stress levels and an improvement in her ability to stay focused and compassionate with patients. As Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully expressed, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." Your breath is always available to you, a steady anchor in turbulent times. 3. Reframing negative thoughts, shifting your perspective. Negative thoughts are like weeds. They grow quickly and can choke out positivity if left unchecked. Learning to reframe these thoughts is a crucial skill for mastering your emotions. Reframing doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to view situations from a different angle, one that empowers you rather than drains you. Here's how reframing works. 1. Identify the negative thought. For example, "I'll never be good enough for this job." 2. Challenge its validity. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? What evidence supports or contradicts it? 3. Reframe it positively. Instead of focusing on failure, highlight opportunities for growth. For instance, this challenge is helping me develop new skills and build resilience. Let me share an inspiring example. Meet David, an entrepreneur who faced multiple setbacks while launching his startup. Initially, he viewed each failure as proof that he wasn't cut out for entrepreneurship. But after learning about reframing, he began to see failures as stepping stones to success. Each setback became a lesson, and each obstacle fueled his determination. Today, his company is thriving, thanks in part to his ability to reframe adversity. As Albert Einstein once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." By shifting your mindset, you can uncover hidden opportunities in even the toughest situations. Here's an exercise to practice reframing. Write down 3 recent negative thoughts you've had. For each thought, ask yourself, what's another way to look at this? Rewrite the thought in a positive or constructive light. Over time, this habit will reshape how you perceive challenges and strengthen your emotional resilience. 4. Mindful listening, strengthening connections through presence. One of the most overlooked aspects of emotional mastery is mindful listening. In our fast-paced world, we often listen to respond rather than to understand. This habit not only weakens our relationships but also escalates conflicts by making others feel unheard. Mindful listening, on the other hand, fosters empathy, trust, and deeper connections. Let's explore what mindful listening entails and how you can practice it in your daily life. What is mindful listening? Mindful listening means giving someone your full attention without judgment or interruption. It's about being present in the moment, tuning into their words, tone, and body language, and resisting the urge to formulate a response while they're speaking. Here's why mindful listening matters. It helps you truly understand the other person's perspective, reducing misunderstandings. It makes the speaker feel valued and respected, strengthening your bond. It prevents unnecessary arguments by de-escalating tension. As Stephen R. Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, famously said, "Most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply." By shifting your focus from replying to understanding, you unlock the power of genuine communication. How to practice mindful listening. Here are 5 steps to help you become a more mindful listener. 1. Be fully present. Put away distractions like your phone or laptop. Make eye contact and give the speaker your undivided attention. 2. Listen without interrupting. Resist the urge to jump in with advice or opinions. Let them finish their thoughts completely. 3. Observe nonverbal cues. Pay attention to their tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. These signals often convey emotions that words alone cannot express. 4. Reflect back what you hear. Paraphrase their message to show you understand. For example, "It sounds like you're feeling frustrated because..." 5. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage them to elaborate by asking questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" To illustrate the impact of mindful listening, let me share a story about Rachel, a manager at a tech company. Rachel used to struggle with team meetings, where employees would clam up or argue over minor issues. One day, she decided to try mindful listening during a particularly heated discussion. Instead of cutting people off or offering solutions immediately, she listened patiently, acknowledged their concerns, and asked clarifying questions. To her surprise, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Her team felt heard and began collaborating more effectively. As Carl Rogers, a pioneer in psychology, once said, "When someone really hears you without passing judgment, without trying to take responsibility for you, without trying to mold you, it feels damn good." Mindful listening creates this safe space for others to express themselves freely. 5. The art of self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Before we conclude this chapter, let's address an often neglected aspect of mastering emotions, self-compassion. Many of us are quick to judge ourselves harshly when we make mistakes or fail to meet expectations. But treating yourself with kindness and understanding is essential for emotional well-being. Self-compassion has 3 core components. 1. Self-kindness, being gentle and supportive toward yourself instead of critical. 2. Common humanity, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and struggles. It's part of being human. 3. Mindfulness, acknowledging your pain without exaggerating or suppressing it. Here's why self-compassion matters. Research shows that people who practice self-compassion experience less anxiety, depression, and stress. They're also more resilient and better equipped to handle challenges. Let me share a practical exercise to cultivate self-compassion. Think of a recent mistake or failure that's been weighing on you. Write down 3 kind things you'd say to a friend in the same situation. Now, direct those same words of encouragement toward yourself. For example, if you missed a deadline at work, instead of berating yourself, you might say, "Everyone slips up sometimes. I'll learn from this and plan better next time." To inspire you further, consider the words of Kristen Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion. You may not be able to control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. By practicing self-compassion, you build emotional resilience and create a foundation for calmness. 6. Combining techniques for maximum impact. Now that we've explored pausing, breathing, reframing, mindful listening, and self-compassion, it's important to recognize that these tools work best when used together. Each technique complements the others, creating a holistic approach to mastering your emotions. For instance, imagine you're having a disagreement with a loved one. Here's how you could apply these techniques. 1. Pause. Take a moment before responding to avoid escalating the conflict. 2. Breathe. Use box breathing to calm your nervous system and regain clarity. 3. Reframe. Shift your perspective from, "They're attacking me," to, "They're expressing frustration because they care." 4. Listen mindfully. Focus on their words and validate their feelings without interrupting. 5. Practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that disagreements are normal and don't define your worth. By integrating these strategies into your daily interactions, you'll notice a profound shift in how you navigate challenges and connect with others. Conclusion of Chapter 2. In this chapter, we've delved into the art of mastering your emotions through practical techniques like pausing, breathing, reframing negative thoughts, mindful listening, and self-compassion. These tools empower you to move from reactive behavior to thoughtful responses, transforming both your internal state and external relationships. Remember, change takes time and patience. Start small. Choose one technique to focus on this week and gradually incorporate the others as you grow more comfortable. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small, because each effort brings you closer to mastering your mind. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to build resilience and thrive in the face of challenges. Get ready to discover the inner strength you need to overcome adversity and create a life filled with purpose and balance. Chapter 3: Building Resilience, Thriving in Challenges. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Whether it's a personal setback, a professional hurdle, or a global crisis, adversity tests our strength and resolve. But here's the good news: resilience isn't something you're born with, it's a skill you can develop. In this chapter, we'll explore what resilience truly means, how to cultivate a growth mindset, the transformative power of gratitude, and the importance of building a strong support system. These strategies will empower you to not only survive challenges but thrive in the face of them. Let's dive in and uncover the secrets to becoming unshakable. 1. What is resilience? The foundation of inner strength. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to change, and keep moving forward despite obstacles. It's not about avoiding difficulties or pretending they don't exist. It's about facing them head-on with courage and determination. Resilient individuals view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. But why is resilience so important? Research shows that resilient people experience less stress, recover faster from setbacks, and maintain a positive outlook even in tough times. They're also better equipped to handle uncertainty and navigate life's ups and downs. Let's break down the key components of resilience. Emotional regulation, managing your emotions effectively, especially during stressful situations. Problem-solving skills, approaching challenges with a solution-oriented mindset. Optimism, maintaining hope and believing in your ability to overcome obstacles. Flexibility, adapting to changing circumstances without losing focus on your goals. To illustrate the power of resilience, let me share the story of Malala Yousafzai. At just 15 years old, Malala survived an assassination attempt by the Taliban for advocating girls' education. Instead of succumbing to fear, she emerged stronger, continuing her fight for equality, and eventually becoming the youngest ever Nobel laureate. Her resilience inspired millions worldwide. As Helen Keller once said, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." Resilience is the bridge between struggle and triumph. Here's an exercise to assess your current level of resilience. Reflect on a recent challenge you faced. How did you respond? Did you give up, or did you find ways to persevere? Write down 3 strengths that helped you get through it. Identify one area where you'd like to improve and commit to working on it. Understanding your resilience foundation is the first step towards strengthening it. 2. Developing a growth mindset, embracing challenges as opportunities. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, is essential for building resilience. People with a growth mindset see failures as stepping stones to success, while those with a fixed mindset view them as reflections of their limitations. Let's explore how to cultivate a growth mindset. Step 1. Reframe failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the journey. Instead of fearing mistakes, embrace them as valuable lessons. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can it help me grow? For example, Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His growth mindset turned setbacks into breakthroughs. Step 2. Focus on effort, not outcomes. Success isn't always immediate, but effort compounds over time. Celebrate the progress you make, no matter how small. For instance, if you're learning a new skill, acknowledge the hours you've invested rather than obsessing over perfection. Step 3. Seek feedback and learn continuously. Feedback is a gift that accelerates growth. Instead of taking criticism personally, use it to refine your approach. Surround yourself with mentors, coaches, or peers who challenge and inspire you. Here's an inspiring example. Meet Alex, a graphic designer who struggled with self-doubt early in his career. Whenever a client rejected his work, he took it personally and considered quitting. But after adopting a growth mindset, he began viewing feedback as an opportunity to improve. He started experimenting with new techniques, seeking advice from colleagues, and embracing constructive criticism. Today, he's a highly sought-after designer known for his creativity and adaptability. As Carol Dweck, psychologist and author of Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, explains, becoming is better than being. A growth mindset keeps you focused on the process of becoming your best self. 3. Practicing gratitude daily, shifting your focus to positivity. Gratitude is a powerful tool for building resilience. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you shift your attention away from problems and toward possibilities. This simple practice rewires your brain to notice the good in every situation, even during tough times. Here's why gratitude matters. It boosts happiness and reduces stress by activating the brain's reward centers. It strengthens relationships by fostering appreciation and connection. It helps you maintain perspective, reminding you of what truly matters. Let me share a practical exercise called the Gratitude Journal. 1. Each evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for that day. They can be big, a promotion at work, or small, a warm cup of coffee. 2. Reflect on why these things made you feel thankful. 3. Over time, observe how this practice shifts your mindset and improves your emotional well-being. For inspiration, consider Oprah Winfrey, who credits gratitude with transforming her life. She writes in her book The Wisdom of Sundays, "Be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." To demonstrate the impact of gratitude, let me share Sarah's story. After losing her job during the pandemic, Sarah felt overwhelmed and hopeless. One day, a friend suggested she start a gratitude journal. At first, it felt forced. She struggled to find anything positive in her situation. But over weeks, she began noticing small blessings, supportive friends, free online courses to upskill, and extra time to spend with her family. Slowly, her outlook shifted, and she regained the motivation to rebuild her career. 4. Creating a support system, building strong connections. No one thrives alone. A strong support system, a network of family, friends, mentors, and colleagues, plays a crucial role in building resilience. These connections provide emotional support, practical advice, and encouragement when you need it most. Here's how to build and nurture your support system. Step 1. Identify key relationships. Think about the people in your life who uplift and inspire you. Who do you turn to when you're struggling? Make a list of these individuals and prioritize staying connected with them. Step 2. Be vulnerable and authentic. Building trust requires vulnerability. Share your struggles openly with trusted friends or family members. You might be surprised by how willing they are to help. Step 3. Offer support in return. Relationships thrive on reciprocity. Be there for others during their tough times, whether it's offering a listening ear or lending a helping hand. Step 4. Join communities aligned with your values. Consider joining groups or organizations that align with your interests or goals. Whether it's a professional association, a hobby club, or a volunteer group, these communities can expand your network and provide additional layers of support. To illustrate the power of community, let me share Michael's story. After relocating to a new city for work, Michael felt isolated and lonely. Determined to connect with others, he joined a local running club. Through shared experiences and conversations, he formed meaningful friendships that helped him adjust to his new environment. When he later faced a health scare, his running buddies rallied around him, providing both emotional and logistical support. As Maya Angelou wisely said, "I sustain myself with the love of family and friends." A strong support system is your safety net in challenging times. 5. Embracing change, adapting to life's uncertainties. Change is one of life's few constants, yet it often triggers fear and resistance. Whether it's a career shift, a relationship transition, or an unexpected event, adapting to change requires resilience and flexibility. In this section, we'll explore strategies to embrace change with grace and confidence. Why change is hard. Humans are creatures of habit. Our brains crave predictability because it feels safe. When faced with change, we naturally experience discomfort as our routines and expectations are disrupted. This discomfort can manifest as anxiety, frustration, or even denial. But here's the truth: resisting change only prolongs suffering. Acceptance is the first step toward adaptation. As Lao Tzu said, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, that only creates sorrow." By embracing change, you open yourself up to new possibilities and growth. How to adapt gracefully. Here are 4 strategies to help you navigate change effectively. 1. Acknowledge your emotions. Allow yourself to feel whatever arises, whether it's sadness, anger, or excitement. Suppressing emotions only delays processing them. Journaling or talking to a trusted friend can help you release pent-up feelings. 2. Focus on what you can control. While you can't always control external circumstances, you can control your attitude and actions. Identify areas where you have agency and direct your energy toward those. 3. Visualize positive outcomes. Use visualization techniques to imagine how things could improve. Picture yourself thriving in the new situation, and let that vision guide your decisions. 4. Break it down into manageable steps. Big changes can feel overwhelming, but breaking them into smaller tasks makes them more approachable. For example, if you're starting a new job, focus on mastering one task at a time instead of trying to excel immediately. To illustrate the power of embracing change, let me share Emma's story. After years of working in corporate finance, Emma decided to pursue her passion for photography. Initially, she doubted her decision, fearing financial instability and uncertainty about her skills. but by focusing on incremental progress, taking online courses, networking with other photographers, and building a portfolio, she gradually gained confidence. Today, Emma runs a successful photography business, fulfilling her dream while inspiring others to follow theirs. 6. Cultivating inner strength, the role of self-discipline. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's also about staying steady when times get tough. Self-discipline, the ability to stick to your commitments despite distractions or discomfort, is a cornerstone of inner strength. Without discipline, even the best intentions can falter. Let's explore how self-discipline contributes to resilience and how you can develop it. Why self-discipline matters. Self-discipline keeps you aligned with your long-term goals, even when short-term temptations arise. For instance, sticking to a fitness routine requires discipline, especially on days when you'd rather skip the gym. Over time, this consistency builds mental toughness and reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome challenges. How to build self-discipline. Here are 5 tips to strengthen your self-discipline. 1. Set clear goals. Define what you want to achieve and break it down into actionable steps. Clarity reduces ambiguity and helps you stay focused. 2. Create routines. Establish daily habits that support your goals. Consistency minimizes decision fatigue and makes disciplined behavior automatic. 3. Practice delayed gratification. Train yourself to prioritize long-term rewards over immediate pleasures. For example, save money instead of splurging impulsively. 4. Track your progress. Keep a journal or use apps to monitor your achievements. Seeing tangible results boosts motivation and accountability. 5. Celebrate small wins. Reward yourself for milestones along the way. Positive reinforcement strengthens your commitment to staying disciplined. For inspiration, consider J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before publishing Harry Potter. Her unwavering discipline and perseverance turned her struggles into one of the most iconic literary successes in history. As Aristotle famously stated, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Discipline transforms fleeting efforts into lasting excellence. 7. Combining techniques for resilience mastery. Now that we've explored gratitude, growth mindset, support systems, adaptability, and self-discipline, let's discuss how to integrate these strategies for maximum impact. Resilience isn't built through isolated practices. It's the result of combining multiple tools to create a robust framework for thriving in adversity. For example, imagine you're navigating a challenging project at work. Here's how you could apply these techniques. Gratitude. Start each day by listing 3 aspects of the project you appreciate, such as learning opportunities or supportive colleagues. Growth mindset. View setbacks as chances to refine your approach rather than signs of failure. Support system. Seek advice from mentors or collaborate with team members to solve problems together. Adaptability. Stay flexible and adjust your strategy as needed without losing sight of your ultimate goal. Self-discipline. Commit to completing small tasks consistently, knowing they contribute to the bigger picture. By weaving these strategies into your daily life, you'll develop an unshakable foundation of resilience. Conclusion of Chapter 3. In this chapter, we've uncovered the essential elements of resilience, understanding its foundation, cultivating a growth mindset, practicing gratitude, building a strong support system, embracing change, and developing self-discipline. These tools equip you to face life's challenges with courage, clarity, and determination. Remember, resilience is like a muscle. It grows stronger with consistent effort. Start small, focus on one area at a time, and celebrate every victory along the way. Each step forward brings you closer to becoming the resilient, unstoppable version of yourself. In the next chapter, we'll delve into cultivating inner peace and achieving balance in all areas of your life. Get ready to discover how mindfulness, self-care, and joy can transform your daily existence. Chapter 4. Cultivating Inner Peace, a Life of Balance. In the previous chapters, we've explored how to understand your mind, master your emotions, and build resilience. Now, it's time to focus on cultivating inner peace, a state of calm, clarity, and contentment that allows you to live a balanced and fulfilling life. Inner peace isn't about escaping challenges or living in perpetual bliss. It's about finding harmony within yourself despite external circumstances. In this chapter, we'll cover setting healthy boundaries, prioritizing self-care, practicing mindfulness meditation, and discovering joy in small things. These practices will help you create a foundation of tranquility that supports every aspect of your life. Let's begin this journey toward lasting peace and balance. 1. Setting healthy boundaries, protecting your energy. Boundaries are essential for maintaining emotional well-being and fostering healthy relationships. Without clear boundaries, you risk overextending yourself, feeling resentful, or allowing others to take advantage of your kindness. Learning to set and enforce healthy boundaries is a cornerstone of inner peace. Why boundaries matter? Boundaries protect your time, energy, and emotional resources. They communicate your needs and expectations to others while ensuring you don't compromise your values or mental health. Think of boundaries as invisible fences that safeguard your inner world. As Brené Brown, a researcher on vulnerability and courage, explains, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. How to set healthy boundaries. Here are 5 steps to establish and maintain boundaries effectively. 1. Identify your limits. Reflect on situations where you feel drained, frustrated, or overwhelmed. What behaviors or demands trigger these feelings? Use this awareness to define your limits. 2. Communicate clearly. Express your boundaries calmly and respectfully. For example, I need some quiet time after work to recharge. Or, I'm unable to take on additional tasks right now. Avoid apologizing excessively. Your needs are valid. 3. Be consistent. Enforcing boundaries requires consistency. If you say no once but give in later, others may not take your boundaries seriously. Stick to your decisions firmly yet kindly. 4. Practice saying no. Saying no can be challenging, especially if you're accustomed to pleasing others. Start with low-stakes situations and gradually build confidence. Remember, every no to something unimportant creates space for what truly matters. 5. Respect others' boundaries. Healthy boundaries go both ways. Just as you expect others to honor your limits, respect theirs as well. This mutual understanding fosters trust and cooperation. To illustrate the importance of boundaries, let me share Lisa's story. Lisa was known for always saying yes to extra projects at work, social invitations, and family requests. Over time, she became exhausted and irritable, snapping at loved ones and losing passion for her job. One day, a friend encouraged her to set boundaries. At first, it felt uncomfortable to decline requests, but as Lisa prioritized her own needs, she regained her energy and joy. Her relationships improved because she showed up as her best self instead of a depleted version of herself. 2. Prioritizing self-care, nurturing your whole self. Self-care is often misunderstood as indulgence, spa days, shopping sprees, or binging Netflix. While those activities can be enjoyable, true self-care is about nurturing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being consistently. It's a non-negotiable practice for cultivating inner peace. The pillars of self-care. Effective self-care encompasses multiple dimensions of your life. 1. Physical self-care. Exercise regularly to boost energy and reduce stress. Eat nutritious meals that fuel your body and mind. Get enough sleep to restore your system. 2. Emotional self-care. Journal your thoughts and feelings to process emotions. Spend time with supportive people who uplift you. Engage in hobbies or activities that bring you joy. 3. Mental self-care. Read books or listen to podcasts that inspire growth. Practice mindfulness to stay present and grounded. Limit exposure to negative news or toxic environments. 4. Spiritual self-care. Meditate or pray to connect with your inner self. Spend time in nature to feel awe and wonder. Reflect on your purpose and values to align your actions with your beliefs. Practical self-care ideas. Here's a list of simple yet impactful self-care practices you can incorporate into your routine. Take a 10-minute walk outside each morning to start your day fresh. Disconnect from technology for an hour daily to recharge mentally. Treat yourself to a relaxing bath or skincare ritual before bed. Dedicate 15 minutes to deep breathing or stretching exercises. For inspiration, consider the story of Mark, a teacher who struggled with burnout. He realized he was neglecting his own needs while pouring all his energy into helping students. Determined to change, Mark began prioritizing self-care. He started running 3 times a week, joined a book club, and carved out weekends for personal hobbies. As a result, he returned to teaching with renewed enthusiasm and patience. As Audre Lorde, an influential writer and activist, famously said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation." Self-care isn't optional, it's vital for sustaining inner peace. 3. Mindfulness meditation practices, finding stillness within. Mindfulness meditation is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner peace. By training your mind to focus on the present moment without judgment, you can reduce stress, increase clarity, and deepen your connection to yourself. What is mindfulness meditation? Mindfulness involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surroundings with curiosity and acceptance. Rather than getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, mindfulness anchors you in the here and now. Research shows that regular mindfulness meditation reduces anxiety, improves focus, and enhances overall well-being. Even just 10 minutes a day can make a significant difference. How to practice mindfulness meditation. Here's a step-by-step guide to get started. 1. Find a quiet space. Choose a location free from distractions where you can sit comfortably. 2. Adopt a comfortable posture. Sit upright with your back straight, hands resting gently on your lap. You can sit cross-legged on the floor or in a chair with feet flat on the ground. 3. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. Don't try to control your breath, simply observe it. 4. Acknowledge thoughts without judgment. When thoughts arise, and they will, acknowledge them without engaging. Gently return your focus to your breath. 5. Start small and build gradually. Begin with 5 to 10 minutes per session and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. To inspire you further, let me share Anna's story. Anna, a busy entrepreneur, struggled with constant overthinking and insomnia. On a friend's recommendation, she tried mindfulness meditation. Initially skeptical, she committed to meditating for 10 minutes daily. After a few weeks, she noticed profound changes. Her mind felt calmer, her sleep improved, and she approached challenges with greater clarity. Today, meditation is a non-negotiable part of her daily routine. As Jon Kabat-Zinn, founder of the mindfulness-based stress reduction program, says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Mindfulness teaches you to ride life's ups and downs with grace. 4. Finding joy in small things, the power of micro-moments. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook the beauty and wonder hidden in everyday moments. Yet, cultivating a habit of noticing and appreciating small joys can profoundly enhance your sense of inner peace. These micro-moments, like savoring a warm cup of tea, watching a sunset, or laughing with a friend, add up to create a life rich with meaning and contentment. Why small joys matter? Small joys remind us that happiness doesn't have to come from grand achievements or material possessions. They teach us to find fulfillment in the present moment, fostering gratitude and reducing the pressure to chase external validation. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely said, "The creation of 1,000 forests is in one acorn." Similarly, the seeds of lasting happiness often lie in seemingly insignificant experiences. How to cultivate joy in everyday life. Here are 5 ways to train yourself to notice and cherish small joys. 1. Practice sensory awareness. Engage all your senses to fully experience the moment. For example, when eating a meal, pay attention to its taste, texture, aroma, and appearance. This mindfulness enhances enjoyment and presence. 2. Keep a joy journal. Each evening, write down 3 small moments that brought you happiness during the day. They could be as simple as hearing birds chirp or receiving a kind text message. Over time, this practice trains your brain to seek out positivity. 3. Celebrate tiny wins. Acknowledge and celebrate even the smallest accomplishments, like completing a task, tidying up your space, or trying something new. These wins reinforce a sense of progress and achievement. 4. Connect with nature. Spend time outdoors to reconnect with the natural world. Whether it's walking barefoot on grass, feeling the sun on your skin, or listening to raindrops, nature has a calming effect that amplifies joy. 5. Share kindness. Acts of kindness, both giving and receiving, generate warmth and connection. Hold the door for someone, compliment a stranger, or send a thoughtful note to a loved one. These gestures not only brighten others' days but also uplift your spirit. To illustrate the transformative power of small joys, let me share James's story. James, a software engineer, felt trapped in a cycle of stress and monotony. His days blurred together, filled with endless coding and deadlines. One day, he decided to experiment with finding joy in small things. He began taking short breaks to watch squirrels play outside his office window, started brewing coffee at home instead of grabbing it on the go, and made it a point to call his parents weekly just to chat. Slowly, these tiny shifts added up, infusing his life with lightness and purpose. 5. Combining practices for inner peace mastery. Now that we've explored boundaries, self-care, mindfulness meditation, and finding joy in small things, let's discuss how to integrate these practices into a cohesive strategy for cultivating inner peace. Each element complements the others, creating a holistic framework for balance and tranquility. For instance, imagine you're navigating a particularly hectic week. Here's how you could combine these tools. Boundaries. Politely decline non-essential commitments to protect your time and energy. Self-care. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and movement to maintain physical resilience. Mindfulness meditation. Dedicate 10 minutes each morning to meditate, grounding yourself before tackling the day. Finding joy. Notice and appreciate small pleasures, like the smell of fresh air during a brief walk or the warmth of a cozy sweater. By layering these practices, you create a buffer against stress and chaos, allowing you to stay centered no matter what life throws your way. 6. Overcoming obstacles to inner peace. While the path to inner peace is rewarding, it's not without challenges. Common obstacles include perfectionism, comparison, and resistance to change. Let's address these barriers and explore strategies to overcome them. Perfectionism. Perfectionism stems from the belief that you must meet impossibly high standards to be worthy. This mindset creates constant dissatisfaction and prevents you from enjoying the present moment. To combat perfectionism, focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate effort rather than outcomes. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Comparison. Social media and societal pressures often lead us to compare ourselves unfavorably to others. This habit erodes confidence and fuels discontent. To overcome comparison, limit exposure to toxic influences, such as curated social feeds. Redirect your focus inward by asking, what makes me unique? What brings me joy? Resistance to change. Change can feel uncomfortable, especially when stepping out of familiar routines. However, growth requires embracing discomfort. To embrace change, break transitions into manageable steps to reduce overwhelm. Remind yourself of past successes to build confidence in your ability to adapt. Conclusion of Chapter 4. In this chapter, we've uncovered the keys to cultivating inner peace, setting healthy boundaries, prioritizing self-care, practicing mindfulness meditation, finding joy in small things, and overcoming common obstacles. These practices empower you to create a balanced, harmonious life rooted in tranquility and contentment. Remember, inner peace isn't a destination, it's a journey. Start small, incorporate one practice at a time, and trust the process. Each step forward brings you closer to a calmer, more fulfilling existence. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to apply everything you've learned so far to transform your life. Get ready to put theory into action and witness the incredible impact of calmness in every area of your life. Chapter 5: Applying Calmness, Transform Your Life. In the previous chapters, we've explored the foundations of calmness, understanding your mind, mastering emotions, building resilience, and cultivating inner peace. Now, it's time to bring all these insights together and apply them in real-world scenarios. This final chapter is your blueprint for integrating calmness into every aspect of your life. From daily rituals to handling conflicts with grace, you'll learn how to harness the power of calmness to transform challenges into opportunities and create a life filled with purpose, balance, and joy. Let's dive in and discover how to make calmness not just a concept but a way of living. 1. Daily rituals for calmness, building habits that last. Creating consistent daily rituals is one of the most effective ways to embed calmness into your life. These rituals act as anchors, grounding you in tranquility and setting the tone for each day. Why rituals matter? Rituals provide structure and predictability, which are essential for maintaining emotional stability. They also serve as reminders to pause, reflect, and reconnect with yourself amidst the chaos of daily life. Whether it's a morning routine or an evening wind-down ritual, small practices can yield significant results over time. As Robin Sharma, author of the 5 a.m. Club, says, "Your mornings shape your days shape your weeks shape your months shape your years, and your years shape your life." By starting and ending your day with intention, you lay the groundwork for lasting transformation. Morning rituals for calmness. Here are 5 calming morning practices to kickstart your day. 1. Mindful breathing. Spend 3 to 5 minutes focusing on your breath. Use techniques like box breathing or diaphragmatic breathing to set a peaceful tone. 2. Gratitude reflection. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. This shifts your mindset toward positivity from the moment you wake up. 3. Movement. Engage in gentle stretching, yoga, or a short walk to energize your body and clear your mind. 4. Affirmations. Repeat empowering statements such as, "I am calm, capable, and ready to face the day." 5. Tech-free time. Avoid checking your phone or emails immediately upon waking. Instead, dedicate the first 30 minutes to nurturing your mental and physical well-being. Evening rituals for calmness. Ending your day with intention promotes restful sleep and prepares you for tomorrow. Try these practices. 1. Digital detox. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed to allow your mind to unwind. 2. Journaling. Reflect on your day by writing about what went well, what challenged you, and what you're looking forward to tomorrow. 3. Progressive muscle relaxation. Release tension by tensing and relaxing different muscle groups, starting from your toes and working upward. 4. Reading or listening to audiobooks. Choose uplifting content that inspires growth and relaxation. 5. Visualization. Imagine yourself peacefully drifting off to sleep and waking up refreshed and ready for the next day. To illustrate the impact of daily rituals, let me share Sarah's story. Sarah, a busy marketing executive, used to start her mornings rushing through tasks and end her evenings scrolling social media. She felt perpetually stressed and disconnected. One day, she decided to implement calming rituals, mindful breathing in the morning, gratitude journaling at night, and tech-free evenings. Within weeks, she noticed a dramatic shift. Her stress levels decreased, her relationships improved, and she approached challenges with greater clarity and confidence. 2. Handling conflict with grace, turning tension into connection. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, whether personal or professional. However, how you handle conflict determines whether it strengthens or weakens your connections. Approaching disagreements with calmness and empathy transforms potential arguments into opportunities for deeper understanding. Why conflict escalates. Conflicts often escalate due to reactive behavior, raised voices, defensive postures, or hurtful words. When emotions run high, rational thinking shuts down, leading to impulsive actions we later regret. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely said, "An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind." Responding to anger with anger only perpetuates negativity. Instead, responding with calmness diffuses tension and opens the door for resolution. Steps to handle conflict gracefully. Here's a step-by-step guide to navigating conflicts with composure. 1. Pause before reacting. Take a deep breath and count to 5 before responding. This creates space for thoughtful communication instead of knee-jerk reactions. 2. Listen actively. Focus on understanding the other person's perspective without interrupting or planning your rebuttal. Validate their feelings by saying, "I hear you, and I understand why this matters to you." 3. Use I statements. Express your thoughts and feelings using I statements to avoid sounding accusatory. For example, "I feel concerned when deadlines are missed because it affects the team's progress," rather than, "You always miss deadlines." 4. Seek common ground. Identify shared goals or values to build collaboration. Ask, "How can we work together to resolve this?" 5. Agree to disagree if necessary. Sometimes, resolving every issue isn't possible. Agreeing to disagree respectfully preserves the relationship while acknowledging differences. For inspiration, consider David's story. David frequently clashed with his business partner over creative decisions. Their heated debates often ended in frustration and unresolved issues. Determined to improve their dynamic, David began applying calm conflict resolution strategies, pausing before speaking, practicing active listening, and seeking compromise. Over time, their partnership flourished as they learned to appreciate each other's strengths and navigate disagreements constructively. 3. Building long-term habits, sustaining change beyond today. While adopting new habits is exciting, sustaining them long-term requires commitment and strategy. Many people abandon positive changes prematurely because they lack systems to support consistency. Let's explore how to build habits that stick. Why habits fade. Habits fade when motivation wanes or external circumstances change. Without a solid foundation, even the best intentions falter. The key lies in designing sustainable systems rather than relying solely on willpower. Strategies for long-term success. Here are 5 proven strategies to maintain habits over time. 1. Start small. Focus on tiny, achievable actions that compound over time. For example, if your goal is to meditate daily, begin with just 2 minutes and gradually increase the duration. 2. Anchor new habits to existing ones. Pair new behaviors with established routines. For instance, practice gratitude journaling right after brushing your teeth in the morning. 3. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker app or journal to monitor your consistency. Seeing streaks of success motivates you to continue. 4. Celebrate milestones. Reward yourself for reaching milestones, such as completing 30 days of meditation or sticking to a healthy eating plan for a month. 5. Be patient and flexible. Understand that setbacks are part of the process. If you miss a day, don't give up, simply recommit the next day. To demonstrate the power of long-term habits, let me share Emma's journey. Emma struggled with anxiety and overwhelm until she committed to building calming habits. She started with 5 minutes of meditation daily, incorporated mindful breathing during stressful moments, and practiced gratitude every evening. At first, progress seemed slow, but within 6 months, she noticed profound changes, reduced anxiety, improved focus, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. 4. Final reflection exercise, committing to your wisdom journey. Before concluding this audiobook, take a moment to reflect on everything you've learned. Ask yourself, what resonated most deeply with me? Which strategies am I excited to implement in my life? How will I measure my progress and celebrate my successes? Write down your answers and revisit them regularly to stay aligned with your goals. Remember, transformation happens one step at a time. Each effort you make contributes to a calmer, more empowered version of yourself. As Confucius once said, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." Stay consistent, and trust that your efforts will lead to extraordinary outcomes. 5. Applying calmness in high-stakes situations, thriving under pressure. Life often presents us with high-stakes situations, job interviews, public speaking, difficult conversations, or critical decision-making moments. These scenarios can trigger intense emotions and stress, making it challenging to stay calm and composed. However, by applying the principles of calmness you've learned throughout this audiobook, you can navigate these moments with confidence and clarity. Why high-stakes situations feel overwhelming. High-stakes situations amplify our emotional responses because they carry significant consequences. Fear of failure, judgment, or rejection activates the amygdala, triggering a fight-or-flight response that clouds rational thinking. This physiological reaction is natural but counterproductive if left unchecked. As Susan Jeffers, author of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, reminds us, the fear never goes away as long as you're growing. The only way to get rid of the fear of doing something is to go out and do it. Facing fears head-on, with calmness as your ally, is the key to thriving under pressure. Strategies for staying calm in high-stakes moments. Here are 5 actionable techniques to help you remain centered during challenging scenarios. 1. Prepare thoroughly. Preparation reduces uncertainty, which is a major source of anxiety. Whether it's rehearsing a presentation, researching questions for an interview, or anticipating potential objections in a negotiation, being well prepared boosts your confidence and minimizes surprises. 2. Visualize success. Visualization primes your brain for success. Close your eyes and imagine yourself excelling in this situation. Picture every detail, the sights, sounds, and feelings of triumph. This mental rehearsal programs your mind to perform optimally when the moment arrives. 3. Use grounding techniques. When nerves strike, grounding techniques like deep breathing or focusing on physical sensations, e.g., the texture of your chair or the weight of your feet on the floor, bring you back to the present moment. 4. Adopt a growth mindset. Reframe the situation as an opportunity to learn rather than a test of your worth. Ask yourself, what can I gain from this experience, regardless of the outcome? 5. Leverage positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts like, I'm going to mess this up, with affirmations such as, I am prepared, capable, and ready to give my best. Words shape your mindset, so choose them wisely. To illustrate the power of calmness in high-stakes situations, let me share Alex's story. Alex had always dreaded public speaking, fearing he'd freeze or stumble over his words. Before delivering a keynote speech at a conference, he applied several calming strategies. He practiced relentlessly, visualized himself succeeding, and used box breathing before stepping onto the stage. To his surprise, not only did he deliver a compelling talk, but he also received glowing feedback from attendees. 6. Creating a ripple effect, inspiring others through your calmness. Calmness isn't just a personal asset, it has the power to influence those around you. When you embody tranquility, especially in stressful situations, you inspire others to adopt similar behaviors. This ripple effect strengthens relationships, fosters collaboration, and creates a more harmonious environment. How calmness impacts others. In leadership, calm leaders instill trust and confidence in their teams. They make thoughtful decisions, communicate clearly, and maintain composure during crises. In relationships, being calm helps de-escalate conflicts and encourages open, empathetic communication. In communities, acts of calmness, like listening without judgment or offering support during tough times, build stronger, more compassionate communities. As Nelson Mandela once said, "It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur." Leading with calmness empowers others to rise to the occasion. Ways to spread calmness. Here are 3 ways to extend the benefits of calmness to those around you. 1. Model calm behavior. Demonstrate how to handle stress gracefully. Your actions speak louder than words. 2. Encourage mindfulness practices. Share tools like breathing exercises or gratitude journaling with friends, family, or colleagues. 3. Offer support without judgment. Be a safe space for others to express themselves freely. Sometimes, simply listening is enough to diffuse tension. For example, consider Rachel, a manager who transformed her team's culture by modeling calmness. During a major project crisis, instead of panicking, she gathered her team, acknowledged the challenges, and guided them through problem-solving calmly. Her demeanor reassured everyone, and the team rallied together to meet the deadline successfully. 7. Final thoughts: embracing calmness as a way of life. As we conclude this audiobook, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. You now possess the knowledge, tools, and strategies to cultivate calmness and apply it in every area of your life. Remember, calmness isn't about eliminating challenges, it's about navigating them with wisdom, grace, and resilience. Key takeaways from this audiobook. 1. Understanding your mind lays the foundation for emotional mastery. 2. Mastering your emotions empowers you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. 3. Building resilience equips you to thrive in adversity. 4. Cultivating inner peace creates balance and fulfillment. 5. Applying calmness transforms not only your life but also the lives of those around you. Now it's time to put what you've learned into practice. Start small, choose one habit or technique and commit to integrating it into your daily routine. Celebrate your progress, no matter how incremental, and remember that consistency is key. As Maya Angelou beautifully expressed, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. You have the tools to do better, to live a calmer, more intentional life. By mastering calmness, you've unlocked the power to transform chaos into clarity, stress into strength, and obstacles into opportunities. While the path ahead may still hold challenges, you now have the resilience and wisdom to face them with unwavering courage. Audiobook Conclusion. Before we part ways, let's take a moment to recap the key lessons from this audiobook. Calm is power. Train your mind to respond, not react. These insights are designed to guide you toward a calmer, more empowered life. 1. Understanding your mind. You learned how emotions work, the science behind stress, and why calmness is essential for personal growth. By understanding your triggers and creating space between stimulus and response, you gain the foundation for emotional mastery. 2. Mastering your emotions. Through techniques like pausing, mindful breathing, reframing negative thoughts, and practicing active listening, you discovered how to shift from reacting impulsively to responding thoughtfully. 3. Building resilience. You explored the importance of resilience, adopting a growth mindset, practicing gratitude, and nurturing a strong support system. These tools empower you to bounce back stronger from adversity and thrive in challenges. 4. Cultivating inner peace. By setting healthy boundaries, prioritizing self-care, engaging in mindfulness meditation, and finding joy in small moments, you created a framework for balance and tranquility in your daily life. 5. Applying calmness. Finally, you learn how to integrate calmness into real-world scenarios, handling conflicts gracefully, excelling in high-stakes situations, and inspiring others through your example. Each chapter built upon the last, equipping you with practical strategies to transform your mind, relationships, and overall well-being. Now that you've absorbed these powerful lessons, it's time to take action. Remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. True transformation comes from consistent application. Start small, focus on one habit at a time, and trust the process. Here's my encouragement to you. Be patient, change takes time. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how tiny it may seem. Stay consistent, even small, daily efforts compound over time to create extraordinary results. Embrace challenges. View obstacles as opportunities to practice what you've learned and grow stronger. As Tony Robbins famously said, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently." Let calmness become your consistent companion, a guiding force that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and confidence. Imagine the possibilities, fewer regrets, deeper connections, and a greater sense of purpose. With calmness as your power, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this audiobook. Your presence here shows your commitment to personal growth and self-improvement, and that's truly commendable. If you found value in this content, I'd be deeply grateful if you could support Wisdom Audiobooks by liking, sharing this video, and subscribing to our channel. Your engagement helps us reach more people who desire a life of calmness and empowerment. And remember, this is just the beginning of your wisdom journey. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep applying what you've learned. Together, we can create a world where calmness reigns supreme, a world filled with compassion, connection, and inner peace. Until next time, stay calm, stay wise, and continue shining your light.